It will get very crowded in the back. You want to make your move right now. Y'all look wonderful. It's great to see you. You have a good summer? How about you guys? You have a good summer? You did? I'm so glad for you. I'm so glad for you. I think today's the last day of summer. Until 3 o'clock. It's actually fall now. Okay. I felt it. Yeah. I still have empty seats at the front. If you're wise and you have ears, you will come up to the front. You get double gifts. Wise man, thank you. Also, I'm very kind to my front rows, so please come on up. Don't be afraid. There's no smashing of watermelons at this party. All right, my friends, welcome to PubTalk, the road to Bbsi. Does anybody know what's happening right now? I'm talking to these people in the back. You guys are doing great. You guys are doing great. You got the puffy vest joke. Is that a joke or just a lifestyle? It's a lifestyle. It's truth. Thank you. Now you know when you see me around. All right, my friends, welcome to PubTalk. It's wonderful to see you all. Did you all have a good summer? If it's okay if you had a bad summer, you're not alone. Some of us had like a half and half. That's okay. Takes all kinds. Hey, if you're as happy as I am that I'm here, you have OSU Cascades to thank for it. I'm back for another entire year. That's right, this is our first PubTalk back from summer vacation. Thanks to OSU Cascades. OSU Cascades Innovation Collabs helps entrepreneurs turn their ideas into reality. Tonight, you'll hear from Bbsi semifinalist Osheru's CEO, Patty Bueller. Can't wait to hear from Patty. Patty worked with with Executive Director Adam Krajnicki and the student consultancy on market research, grant applications, startup coaching, website design, and branding. OSU Cascades wishes good luck to all Osheru and all the other Bbsi finalists as well. This is such an exciting night. This is my favorite PubTalk. I say that every time, but it's true. Okay, there's only one rule to follow tonight. I don't know if that's exactly accurate, but we're going to go with it for now. Vote for 3 companies later tonight. You will vote for 3 companies later tonight, and I'll let you know exactly how to do that when it's time, so don't worry. I got you. In the meantime, take some notes. Okay, you are going to help determine the 5 companies that are moving on to the Bbsi stage next month, October 21st, and who will take home $3,000 tonight. That's a big deal. Right, so you get to choose, so pay attention, take some notes, choose your favorites, and then we'll have a big vote a little later on. First off, I'm excited I get to introduce Edco CEO John Stark for a quick director's minute. John, are you in the house? Oh, there you are. There you are, and I believe you're right here. Hi, John. How are you?
You got to turn it on first.
Yeah, well,
yeah,
it helps. It's great to see you.
Can you hear me now? All right. Good to see you, Shannon. Welcome, PubTalk Nation. I'm glad you're all here. Welcome to our little soiree tonight, celebration of entrepreneurship. Thank you all for being here to honor several companies tonight that'll be on the stage. You'll be part of the voting, as mentioned, to give them a pass to the Bbsi stage. So we're glad you're all here tonight. Got 2 things for you tonight. We've had this theme of staffing, so each one of these for the last couple of months, we've been announcing a bunch of new hires. That's common with a lot of companies today. So I wanted to welcome to PubTalk tonight a couple of new folks, our Director of Membership Development, Michael, as well as our new Marketing Coordinator and Admin Assistant, Beverly Anderson, our new Marketing Director, Nicole McNew, and then also Bree Wilkins, our new Redmond Internship Coordinator. So that rounds out a full staff. Who can say they have a full staff today? Edco can. So I'm excited about that. This team is awesome. You wouldn't believe in the collaboration that happened in the office today to bring this event to you tonight. We're glad you're all here. The second thing I have for you tonight is, before the state's legislature this year is a renewal for the enterprise zone. That's the state's property tax exemption program that we leverage. It's the #1 incentive that we leverage to help companies grow here in Central Oregon and move here to Central Oregon. So it provides 3 to 5 year property tax exemption in the standard program. There's a longer term option in rural communities for 7 to 15 years. We have 80 plus companies using this program in Central Oregon who have proposed to create almost 900 jobs and about $1.6 billion in investment in Central Oregon. We have a few tech companies out in Prineville that spend a little money. So we need this program. Our cities and counties support this program. It's a locally sponsored program. It's up for renewal before our state legislature. You've seen some things in the paper about them possibly pulling the rug out from some of these companies to use it. It is our #1 recruitment tool. Number one, companies believe they don't have to finance what they're able to save in property tax exemption for the program. So they're able to leverage that against some very heavy times for cash flow and receive some benefit getting quicker to hiring and to growing their companies. So, and then some of those companies also really feel like it's a local investment. So they're not just investing in the community to create these jobs, the community's investing in them by giving them a short-term, temporary tax break to get them started. Again, most of the programs that we have are 3 to 5 years, and then all of those property taxes come on the rolls, and those companies have to create those jobs by the time that investment starts. So it's an important program. We could use all of your help to talk to legislatures. There'll be more coming out of Edco about the importance of this, some of the numbers that we have and why it's important. So please think about that. If you're interested in learning more from me from that, feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to talk about. I've been managing this enterprise zone up in Redmond for a lot of years now. I lead the people that manage the enterprise zones, 5 of them here in Central Oregon. I'm way past my time here. I'm off the stage. Love having you here. Thank you very much.
Get the hook. Thanks, John. Thanks, John. And welcome to the Edco team, Kelly, Nicole, Beverly, and Bree. Side note, my dad's name is Michael Kelly. True story. So, Kelly, let's connect. You always hear me thanking sponsors, and tonight won't be any different. We couldn't do it without them. Each of tonight's sponsors have returned yet again to support another year of PubTalk programming. Thank you, title sponsors, BBSK, Columbia Bank, Providence Health Plan, and VLOX for saying yes once again. So, first up, Kurt Barker from Best and Krieger. Where are you, my friend? Okay, you're right here.
I'm on, right? Yay! Love this event. Thank you for being here. Any newbies? Can I see a show of hands? Anyone willing to out themselves as being first time to? You chose extremely well. This is like the highlight of the year for us. I think you're going to be inspired, and I want to encourage newbies, veterans alike, meet some of these amazing entrepreneurs if you can. I mean, I think that's why we're here to connect and support each other. So Kurt Barker, employment attorney with Best and Krieger. In case you were sleeping, Carnott Peterson merged into a larger multi-state firm effective January of this year. Still here as your longest standing title sponsor of PubTalk. And that means I have to give away goodies. I have apologies to Silver Moon, we're getting you next time. I have $100 to Deschutes Brewery. Oh, thank you, Matt. He's good at this. Just email me in the subject line. I'm going to focus on our estate planning team. How many estate planning lawyers do you think we have right here in Bend? It's an unusually large number for a law firm. Email that to me at kurt.barker@bbklaw.com. Put it in the subject line. First person who sends me the correct number gets the $100 tonight. I'll try and draw it at the end of my talk if we can. So I said I'd talk estate planning. I see my law partner Josh Newton is here, but let's talk about Erin. Erin McDonald. Erin has a superpower. She's not only our managing partner, but she can make just about anything in the world entertaining, even estate planning. I'm serious. So it's unusual to have so many estate planning attorneys under one roof. Tom Saig, Brent Kincaid, Annie Nelson, Aaron Golsama Hagen. And then oh crap, I gave away the answer. Oh, I hope nobody counted. The first person who emails it will get the prize. I'll come back up and announce it afterwards. With a business team behind them, too, they can help with succession planning and more. So I hope you consider them. Thanks a bunch. We're glad to be here.
Thanks, Kurt. Kurt.barker@bbklaw.com. Send him an email. You're going home with a gift card. God, who doesn't love a gift card? It's a gift that gives twice. Once when you get it, once when you use it. It's so wonderful. Okay, up next, Aaron O'Donnell from VLOX. Aaron, come on up.
I know you're used to seeing Jordan and his rugged beard up here, but I'm Erin. I'm the younger, more feminine face of VLOX Systems, and we provide IT support to businesses in the Pacific Northwest area. I'm privileged to serve my clients as a virtual CIO and strategize, budget, and forecast infrastructure needs in order to achieve your business's goals. Recently, that has looked a lot like migrating slow, clunky, server-based software to cloud platforms. One of the things I also do is provide little hacks for people to help navigate their systems better. Anyone in here have issues pairing their Bluetooth? Ever? Yeah, thank you. So here's the thing. If you're having trouble, you dress in all green, sit on a perch, and repeat everything that tech support tells you. That's how you pair it.
Thanks, Aaron. Okay, you got a winner?
Marty Johnson, guessed correctly. 5 estate planning attorneys just right here in Bend. Marty Johnson.
All right, Marty. You won. But your name tag doesn't say Marty Johnson. Oh, your name tag, gotcha. Okay, you guys pulled the switcher on me. All right, next up, Chris Dupont from Columbia Bank. Chris, where are you, my friend? Hi, Chris. Oh, here you go. And it's already on.
Already on. All right, perfect. Well, hello, everybody. It seems like it's been a little while since we've seen each other. Columbia Bank, the proud sponsor of Edco and the PubTalk series, and we're glad to keep that going. You know, I'm up here in my cowboy boots and jeans, and if you look over, Kevin's doing the same thing. One of the fun parts of our jobs is we're agriculture lenders, along with commercial lending. Kevin and I were out visiting some farms and ranches today, and then the rest of our team was actually out doing a habitat build day today. So that just kind of reflected on me on, you know, how we're partnering with our community and doing what we can here at Columbia Bank. Like I said, we're proud sponsors of the PubTalk series, and John Stark, wherever he went, he kind of challenged me for another joke today. And I really can't think of anything, so, you know, Kevin and I were out touring the farm today, and we saw a deer over there, and I noticed it didn't have any eyes. So what do you call a deer with no eyes? No idea. That's perfect, because I had no idea what I would say today. So welcome, everybody, and it's glad to see you all, and we're looking forward to everybody tonight.
Is it even pub talk if my friend from Columbia Bank hasn't told us to joke? No idea. That's amazing. I've actually never heard that, so thank you very much. Okay, thank you. Special thanks to Providence Health Plan, who has some exciting news to share with us in the coming months. So just a teaser alert from Providence Health Plan. And before we move on, we've already got our winner, so we're all good there. I just want to say again, for those of you who may not have been tuned in at the very beginning, I'm so glad you're all here. I'm so glad that I'm here. This is one of the most exciting evenings because it's solution-based, right? You're going to get a lineup of people who are presenting you with solutions to real everyday problems. And not only are they solutions, but they're solutions worth funding. So that's where it gets really exciting. So good choice. You did all make a good choice being here. I hear we have cold, hard cash money going home tonight, $3,000. Very exciting development. Thank you, Washington Trust Bank, for passing out some money. We're pleased to support our homegrown Central Oregon startup companies and showcase how they compete with applying companies from around the U.S. First, thank you, Portland Seed Fund, for sponsoring the early stage investment with a $30,000 minimum investment at Bbsi. Last year, they wrote 2 checks for $25,000, and they're known for this, right? Surprising us with more than what we thought was coming. So thanks for having that kind of reputation here in Bend. Portland Seed Fund, we love you. We've got 2 expert judges in the mix this evening. They will be voting for 2 of the 5 finalists. They will headed to the Bbsi stage, leaving 3 for the rest of you to decide. Remember, we already talked about this. You're going to vote as well. So please welcome back Jen Lynch, fund manager of both the Bbsi Growth and Impact Funds this year, and Steve Eichenlob, managing director of Portland Seed Fund 4. So some fun facts about our judge. Hi, Steve. Hi, Jen. Some fun facts about our judges. So to say that Jen works best under pressure is an absolute understatement. She sits on like 37 boards. She has taken on every role and challenge given to her so far and knows a lot about a lot. It's always a pleasure to share the stage with you, Jen. Welcome back, and Team Edco really appreciates you. I hope you know that. Steve gets his curiosity and drive to foster growth of emerging businesses from his parents. His father was an entrepreneur and his mother was a school teacher. Great combination. Steve's mantra is, I am always learning, which he claims he got from Michelangelo. Steve, it's great to have you here. Who knows? Who knows? Once we've heard from all 9 early stage companies, voting will open, results will be tallied, and then announced at the end of PubTalk, so wait for my cue. Companies will not be presenting in alphabetical order tonight, so we can accommodate both in-person and virtual pitches. 3-minute pitches, followed by 3 minutes of Q&As, lightning fast. It means we only have time for 2 or 3 questions tops for each company, so good ones have to come first, all right? One of which will come from the judges, and then the others will come from you all. Virtual attendees, thank you for joining us. Please ask your questions in the chat. They'll get to me as time allows. Silver Moon attendees, you'll just raise your hand, and then I'll repeat your question. So, first early stage company, are we ready? I'm very excited about this one. Yeah, okay. You can clap. Our first early stage company, Range Revolution from Madras, Oregon, the world's first leather luggage company using only traceable and regenerative hides. Nice to have you back, Miss Kate Havstad. Come on up. Do you guys have an extra microphone? Oh, you can set this stuff right here. Yeah. I see you have a nice little.
Right? I do. Okay, so that's fine. She can have this one. Shannon, she can have this one.
She can have that one? Okay.
Can I hold the bag? Oh no.
Yeah, you
I'm
want
a little more. I'm a little more sun.
really beautiful.
This mic is off. Okay, that's for you.
Hi, we're all close and personal. Hello, good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for having me back, Edco. What an honor to tell you about this incredible opportunity. I'm going to set the stage here with a little bit of soil, a little bit of water. I hope we talk about it after my pitch. I am here tonight to tell you about one of the greatest technologies ever created to sequester carbon, increase biodiversity, and help us combat climate change. And the byproduct of this technology, which can help the fashion industry address its huge greenhouse gas emissions problem. This technology is the regenerative grazing of cattle. Range Revolution is the world's first luxury leather goods company, which is using only traceable hides coming from verifiably regenerating lands. We are leading the way in developing a traceable supply chain, which is backed by ecological outcomes data, showing that our designs are the byproduct of carbon sequestration and land regeneration. The fashion industry is one of the biggest contributors to greenhouse gas emissions. 80% of the fashion industry's carbon impacts occur at the raw material sourcing level. 65% of the textiles are petroleum-based. Meanwhile, all the hides that are coming from regenerative ranches that are actually sequestering carbon are being thrown into the trash. This is simply a design flaw, and Range Revolution is the solution. By building 100% of our products out of only regenerative and traceable hides, we are making customers into our co-conspirators, giving them an opportunity to participate in land regeneration and carbon sequestration through the purchase of our products. We are growing our regenerative supply chain, we are building beautiful bags, and we're packaging our ecological outcomes data. 80% of global respondents feel quite strongly that companies should be helping improve the environment. 71% of them are willing to pay more for companies offering transparency and sustainable practices. So we're talking to these consumers. These consumers. The market opportunity is also very large. The luxury leather goods market is projected to be a $64 billion industry by 2025, and the luggage market a $55 billion industry by 2025. We're currently negotiating our first co-branded collaboration with a global retailer that does over $1 billion in sales a year. The collaboration is set to launch fall of 2023, and this collaboration is going to expose Range Revolution to an audience of millions around the globe. Yeah, we're quite excited about this. We have 13 new designs that are ready for production, and we have secured a proven manufacturing partner. We took 2 of our first designs to a trade show in Las Vegas in December, and we did $50,000 in sales just testing the market. We're ready to launch as soon as this collaboration launches in fall of 23, really capitalizing on the exposure and making our customer acquisition costs quite low initially. How do I want to end this? Thank you for your patience. Range Revolution. The market opportunity is quite large, and we have a real chance to make massive impact globally via sequestering carbon and turning a byproduct of carbon sequestration into beautiful products. Yeah, we're ready to take this brand to market in 2023 as the regenerative disruptor in leather handbags. We see capital investment partners who want to put their money to work building companies that provide ecological solutions to some of our greatest environmental challenges. And I just want you to imagine, what would the world look like if the businesses that are funded are the ones that place ecological outcomes at the center of what a company is built around? Thank you very much.
Awesome, thank you.
I know, thank you, great pitch.
So, okay.
Jen's ready.
Take, hold your bag, it's adorable. Tell us, spend 30 seconds telling us more about what regenerative agriculture and carbon sequestration have to do with the leather supply chain. So in 30 seconds, explain why the cows that are the source of these leather products are better for the environment.
Yeah, absolutely. Holistic management of cattle is what we practice on our farm and ranch. So this isn't theoretical to me. This is very much a practice for us on our farm and our ranch, Casad Family Farms. The way that the cattle interact with grasslands, it has been a synergistic evolution for the grasslands and the cattle over millennia. And if we can mimic nature's natural rhythms of allowing these ruminants to graze very huddled up and move them along quickly through the landscape, we're actually creating positive ecological outcomes. We're increasing soil health, we're increasing the photosynthesis capacity, and photosynthesis is literally just the pull down of carbon and storing it in the soil. Rangelands make up 54% of Earth's landmass, and they hold the potential to sequester more carbon than all of the forests in the world.
Boom, and then you can feel good about eating burgers. Okay, question from you in the back. Yeah, well, you're in the middle. I know, that wasn't quite right. You're in the middle. What? Where will the bags be produced?
Yeah, so we're working with artisans in León, Mexico.
Yeah, lovely. They're beautiful. Okay, yes. How about you? Can you talk a little bit more about your tanning process?
Thank you so much. Yes, we are only a veg tan product company. We will not be chrome tanning anything because of the implications of that on the environment.
Well, I know that there's a lot more questions. Unfortunately, we're out of time. But obviously, we support this plan. We want to hear an update from you. We wish you the best of luck, Kate. Great pitch. Thank you for being here. And also, the soil.
Ask me about the soil.
Ask Kate about the soil. Okay, ask Kate about the soil. Wow. How about another round of applause for Kate Hapstad, Range Revolution. Where can I get one of those bags? Sponsor, COCC. COCC's Center for Business, Industry, and Professional Development offers high-quality, innovative, and customized training programs to fit your company's unique needs. From leadership skills to advanced technology and beyond, COCC can create in-person and virtual offerings to assist you and your employees. Visit cocc.edu/CBIPD. Second early stage company. What, are you guys shifting around? Oh, yeah. You guys are just ahead of the game. I mean, I really... Steve, I'm keeping an eye on you because you really know what's going on. Instinct Environmental Company from Hillsboro, Oregon. Wireless sensor networks that detect wildfires and bring real-time environmental monitoring to the fingertips of forest and natural resource managers. Welcome, Instinct Environmental Company.
Thank you. Hopefully everyone can see and hear me okay. Great. I'm Ashram Data from Hillsboro, Oregon, and I'm co-founder and CEO of Instinct. Over just 30 years, wildfires in the US have become 6 times more frequent and 12 times larger on average. This is especially problematic for companies in natural resource management, like Weyerhaeuser, which lost $1 billion of timber in the 2020 wildfire season alone. The thing is, these are some of the oldest and most traditional industries in the world, forestry and agriculture, been around for thousands of years. And what worked a year ago or 10 years ago is typically what informed the actions taken tomorrow. But accelerating climate change is making environmental conditions more volatile than ever before, rendering this strategy ineffective at best and downright dangerous or even catastrophic at worst. Having real-time environmental data is the only way for these industries to bridge this gap and use data-driven decisions to optimize operations and mitigate risk. That's why Instinct is developing an environmental monitoring platform, a hardware, software, hybrid solution, which serves as a one-stop shop for all environmental telemetry and data needs. Out at the site, a wireless sensor network, a cluster of hardware devices, is collecting data on parameters of interest and relaying it to the server in real time. Our system is standalone and does not rely on any existing communication infrastructure, meaning that the system can be deployed nearly anywhere in the world and redeployed at will without concern for cellular towers or radio networks. On the server side, we're running pattern recognition on incoming data to provide actionable and predictive insights to customers. And a web app and a mobile app allow for easy deployment, interface, and use of the product. The system is physically scalable and modular. Physically scalable, meaning that the solution can cost-effectively adapt to any size land area, and modular, meaning that through our plug-and-play solution, we can interface many different types of sensors to our system to tackle a wide array of pain points with ease. This allows us to provide more value to specific customer segments while easily expanding into others. And we deliver this value to our customers through a straightforward HaaS and SaaS hybrid model. Customers get the most flexibility by renting exactly the hardware they want, when they want. And we're clearly onto something here, as we landed a $50,000 paid pilot with Weyerhaeuser, the second largest timber company in the world, as well as a pilot with the sixth largest timber company in the US. Pilot deployments are just a month away. And as we draw closer to that, it's clear that we have the right team for the job. I came up with the idea for Instinct during my studies in environmental engineering at MIT. My co-founder and our CTO, Trevor Bashand, started his career in sensors and instrumentation engineering at ExxonMobil. Our full-stack software engineer, Bbsi, has worked through the process of bringing a product to market firsthand in an ocean sensing startup. And our embedded systems engineer, Tim Helmer, specializes in power systems design, having worked for a solar and grid storage company in the past. In the present, we're a hungry, driven, energetic team, and all four of us spend most of our free time in these natural spaces. We're extremely passionate about making a difference here, and that drives us forward above all else. So join us in enabling humanity to take better care of our planet. Thank you.
Great pitch, thank you. Okay, first judge question, Steve.
Hi there, that was an excellent, crisp presentation, thanks.
Thank you.
I don't know if you saw, but in a newsletter today, a company called Pano was announced that just got a rather sizable Series A funding.
Yep.
They use a 3D, 360-degree video solution. Can you compare and contrast what you do in the forest compared to what they do?
Absolutely. So we actually initially started out focusing on direct wildfire detection as kind of our business and our application. What we realized is that there's so much more that goes into preventing wildfires. Controlled burning is a main aspect of that. And the issue is that in things like that, a lot of data is needed to perform these operations. So wildfire detection is very important, and we can do that with our system as well. But our specialization is focusing on all the environmental data needed to attack this problem at the root, really.
Awesome. Okay, questions from the audience. Anybody? Yes,
I
Jen,
have
why
one.
don't you hit us?
Can you talk a little bit more about these? I sort of expected your first customers to be government, I guess, or wildfire agencies. So you're selling to forest products companies. Talk a little bit more about how fire works with their supply chain and why they might be interested in buying your solution.
Absolutely. So I think a big issue we see is that controlled burns are really the only way to attack mega fires at the root. You know, if we don't control for the fuels on the ground, we're going to keep having really bad mega fires. So like I mentioned, Weyerhaeuser lost $1 billion in 2020. We all saw the horrible wildfire season that tore through our state right there in September. You know, it was such a shame to see that. Weyerhaeuser lost a lot of money from that. And so, you know, that's why they're really interested, and other timber companies are taking note too. As far as the government's concerned, they're also very excited and interested in our product. It's just that, you know, with the government, it takes a little bit longer. They need a little bit more of a track record before it's, you know, quick to adopt those kinds of things. But we're very excited to continue working with them as we have been in the past.
And how fast do you think that we can bring this to market? Like, what's your timeline looking like?
So with our paid pilots deployed in just under 4 weeks from right now, we'll be, you know, aiming for launch in late winter, early spring of 2023. So pretty quickly, and we hope to launch with a set of customers that we've already been, you know, we've already collected a set of customers that are ready and interested in deploying in April. So we'll definitely be launching and hitting the ground running then.
Well, this is incredible. So thank you for your presentation. Excellent pitch. I'm wishing you the best of luck. Okay, we'll hear from you again soon.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having me.
What did I tell you guys? Problem solvers. So our third early stage company, dailychela.com from Portland, Oregon, is an OTT app for Latinos that solves the problem of the lack of Latino news, opinion, and sports on Roku, iOS, and Android. Welcome, dailychela.com.
Hello, thank you. Well, my name is Brandon, and I am the founder of a new Latino digital media app called the Daily Chela. But before I tell you a little bit about the problem I'm trying to solve, I want to tell you a little bit about how I got here. So 20 years ago, I was a different person. I was a high school dropout. I was in and out of jail. I was addicted to drugs. I was a gang member. Eventually, I hit rock bottom, and I knew that I needed to change the way that I was living. I didn't want to live that way anymore. I didn't want to be like my friends. So I enrolled in college, and I began to study political science. My first year, I made the dean's list. Second year, thank you. Second year, I landed a scholarship. And my third year, I landed a prestigious internship opportunity working in Washington, D.C. While I was in Washington, D.C., I began writing, and I began to get published in some of the biggest papers in the country. I wrote for the Washington Times, the Washington Examiner, Salon. I've written for the Oregonian. In many ways, it was like a dream come true coming from where I came from to reach that point. But there was just one problem. I couldn't write about any of the things that I actually wanted to write about. All of those publications were outdated. They were safe, they were boring, they were sanitized. I wanted to write about my own experiences. I wanted to write about politics and life from a Chicano perspective. So one day, out of frustration, I started publishing the things I really wanted to write about on my own blog. And something funny happened. The blogs, they took off. I started getting read more on my own personal blog than I was for some of the biggest national publications. And that's when it struck me. There was a hole in the market. So I took $70 and I launched the Daily Chela. Since we launched 24 months ago, we now have hundreds of paid subscribers. We have 5,000 newsletter subscribers. We have 250,000 social media followers through our network. And we've been cited by the LA Times, NBC, Yahoo, Fox, and more. Last year, I raised $35K in a friends and family round. This year, I'm raising $700K in a seed round so I can hire full-time employees and we can expand our podcast network to Roku. Nice. I know I have an unconventional background, but I actually think it uniquely qualifies me to deal with the challenges that sometimes come with the startup world. I've never had the luxury to walk away from a problem in my life. I had to figure out a way to make it work. Latinos are the fastest growing demographic in the country. They wield $1.7 trillion in purchasing power. I hope you will consider helping me meet that demand. I think I have something special, and I thank you for your time.
Beautiful pitch. Thank you, Brandon.
Thank you, Brandon. That was great. And I think anybody who, I am also a recovering newspaper reporter. Matthew, I am also a recovering newspaper reporter, so I am with you on this. There are ways to make money outside of that business. And in it, ask the owners of Bleacher Report and The Athletic what it's like to sell a media property, and they will tell you it's a pretty good business. So tell me about how you get readers. Where do the readers come from? How do you find them? How much does it cost to find one?
Well, most of our readers started coming from, we had a number of columns early on that went viral. I was writing essays about prison, gangs, but I was writing of it from like kind of a smart policy perspective, but not too wonky. It was something that average people could read and understand and relate to. And from there, we began to build our brand. I didn't expect as many organizations to start reaching out to me as they did. I had, for example, Cheech Marin and his new art center reached out to us before the LA Times to have us write about his new art center that just opened in LA. And the reason for that was because our demographic is so hard for publications to reach, which is primarily the Mexican-American demographic.
Questions from the audience for Brandon? Okay, very good. Steve, go ahead.
Hi. Do you have any sort of a geographic focus for what you're doing with Daily Chela?
Sure. So we have readers everywhere, but I would say the bulk of our audience and our paid subscribers come from the Southwest and the West Coast. I would say, so out of the 65, I would say about 65% of the Latinos in the country are Mexican-American descent, and they're predominantly located in those regions. So that tends to be our main audience.
I think I had a question over here. Yeah. what of the skills from your life experience prepared you the most to be in this unique situation? Great question.
Wow, I think that I never thought about it until I was in these situations, but I really think that not getting what you want growing up and not having anything. I mean, when I came out of jail when I was younger, I didn't have a car, I didn't have a job, I didn't have an education, I didn't have a home. And now I'm married with kids, I have a house, and I have a business, and I write for publications. And I had to build that over the course of a decade from nothing. And I think that the advantage that you get is that you just have no choice but to make it work, and you don't get deterred when someone tells you no. You just figure out a way to make it work. So.
Yeah, it's really very helpful. So you're a writer. How are you? Do you miss just being a writer? Like moving into business, has that been a tough transition?
I do. I write on the side, of course, on my free time. Things that aren't political and stuff like that. But I love running my own business, and now that so many people reached out to me and we have paid subscribers and things like that, I can't walk away. I got to keep building it, and that's what I want to do.
I mean, Cheech Marin is like, you gotta go with that. Brandon, this is amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm really excited to see what happens next for you. So exciting. Sponsor SSF. SGA has merged with Sentiba San Filippo. Merging with the larger firm increases resources for our clients and staff beyond the current capacity. As a B Corp, we are passionate about sustainable, purposeful business and have a team that can help your business do the same. Reach out to Amber Yates for more details. She's lovely. Fourth early stage company, Tough Cutie. This is also a virtual presentation. We've heard from Tough Cutie before. They are from Austin, Texas, a women's outdoor brand dedicated to helping women and people of color step into their authority in the outdoors. Welcome, Tough Cutie. What do you have?
All right, thank you, everyone. As she said, my name is Brittany Coleman. I am the founder and CEO of Tough Cutie. We are, as she said, on a mission to support women in the outdoors, as well as increase diversity in the outdoors. And we are the next multi-million-dollar women's outdoor brand. Here to support women from the ground up, starting with this product here. It's a premium women's hiking sock, merino wool hiking sock. But besides that, our mission really goes deeper because the problem in our industry is that it just hasn't historically been diverse. Men, unfortunately, and I know this from my own experience, have taken a shrink it and pink it approach to design. And the reason I started Tough Cutie is because after seeing that happen year after year, after seeing women being treated as an afterthought in the design process, and myself also as a person being treated really as something to be seen and not heard, I knew that I could do better. I knew that I had the drive, the tenacity, the grit to figure it out, to come to market with something better, uniquely supporting women's needs. And so that's what we've done here with our first product. Not only does it go toe-to-toe with some of the incumbents in the industry, I don't need to mention them, you might know who they are, but we're better because we have built a completely women-owned value chain. So our factory partner is right here in the USA, it is women-owned as well as 70% women-run, as well as RAP certified. And so when you buy Tough Cutie products, you truly are giving back to women and supporting women in business. And that's what we're all about. You cannot buy authenticity like that. Well, I mean, you can. It's $25 on toughcutie.com. Wholesale, we sell it for $12 for minimum 48 pairs. And speaking of our wholesale business, we have, out of the gate, had a lot of fantastic success landing national retailers like Title IX, Dick's Sporting Goods new concept Public Lands, a handful of some of the most genuine, scrappy, outdoor specialty retailers in the country, as well as a really fantastic national retailer that we're going to be testing with in spring 23 that really is a billion-dollar company. So a lot of success on the wholesale side. On the e-commerce side as well, there's only room for growth. Our margins are exceptionally healthy there as well. And we are just super excited to be bringing this product to market. None of it would be possible without the support of Bend Outdoor Works. We were fortunate to be part of their accelerator program this year and received really just an outpouring of encouragement and support, knowledge from this community. So we're super grateful to be here today. And with that, we'll take your questions.
Brittany, it's so good to have you back. It's very exciting. I think Jen has a question for you.
Thank you, Brittany. And yes, for anyone who missed that, Gary Braceland's Bend Outdoor Works has been supporting companies in the apparel and outdoor space and gear space for years at this point. And I'm so glad that you had a good experience and met some folks in Bend. Where are you? Are you selling anywhere in Bend? Can we buy Tough Cutie socks around here?
Yeah, so there is a Title IX store in Bend, and so you can get them there. We're in talks with some other ones. Hopefully we'll come through soon, but yep.
Great.
Wonderful. Steve, looks like you have a question.
Yes, hi. First of all, great job on the presentation. And I'd like to understand a little bit more about how you promote the brand and how much it costs to establish a brand in your circumstance. What proportion of revenue do you allocate to that over time?
Yeah, so in terms of promoting the brand, we've really tried to be focused on like organic growth, so social media channels, events, trade shows as well. We've we've done some of those as well, and are looking to do more of that in the coming years. I can tell you that social media is a really powerful force, and a lot of the retail interest actually came from influencers trying our product and talking about it on social media. And so we think that strategy is going to work for us because we have such a unique story compared to some of our incumbents who may be a little more product heavy, whereas we are coming with a backstory.
Brittany, what about your manufacturing process? I understand you have a pretty special relationship with the people who are actually producing your product. Do you want to speak to that?
Yes, and so our factory partner is also an investor in our company, and that was a really fantastic, it truly was an example of giving agency, because they are the ones who are enabling us to have a business, because they saw us just trying to bring this product to market, and then they saw the authenticity and how much it meant for us and invested back into women. So it was really a beautiful thing for them to partner with us to keep our mission so women-centric.
So unique, and I love that. Okay, any questions from the, yes? What makes a woman's sock different? Great question.
Yeah, so we actually did some surveys before we started designing to pinpoint the things women wanted. So the key things there are we added a unique arch support that really helps to kind of hug your arches and increase blood flow, as well as just increase that alignment and balance, as well as cushioning in the heel and toe. Now, I will say that there's absolutely nothing stopping men from buying and wearing these socks. Feel free to do so. We're certainly open to that. But from a core mission, we're really about putting more money in the hands of women and creating that agency.
I love it. I love it. And I love to have supported arches. So thank you, Brittany. It's wonderful to see you back. I'm wishing you the best of luck. Really excited to see what happens next. Fifth early stage company, qChange, from right here in Bend, Oregon, a real-time technology that objectively measures and grows soft skills in the flow of work. qChange, get on up here. Same spelling and everything. You know, that's my grandpa's name, actually.
You said that last time I presented.
I know. I can't stop saying it. Okay,
all right.
hit it.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone. Great presentation so far. So I got a question to start with. How many times have you been asked or asked someone, are you a good communicator, strategic thinker, inclusive leader, only to receive a subjective yes? Right? And how are you to know that these individuals are suited for the job that you're hiring for? I'm Dr. James Kelly, CEO of qChange. At qChange, we transform the subjective to objective in the flow of work. Today, 2% of an enterprise employee market receives 80% of the soft skills training budget. 80%. A lot, right? And let's couple that with the fact that 87% of millennials and Gen Zs are asking for some sort of development. They're not getting the development, and they're leaving. So, here's the problem. Too many people, not enough budget. At qChange, through Microsoft Teams, we give access to 100% of the people at same or less budget. We use 45 soft skill areas, and our solution is smart. It knows when to nudge the right soft skill before the right meeting so that those after the meeting can tell you if you've practiced that soft skill in the flow of work. That's powerful. That's immediate. Now, who makes this happen? Well, today we have organizations like Mattel, Beyond Trust, and soon to be Huntington Bank and Deloitte, expanding access to over 500 users across 6 countries using our patented technology. Here's what's great, is that the team that we've assembled meets the moment. Starting with Rob Buckingham, who's a 20-plus year, not only product expert, but operations expert. Dr. John Howes, who's a leadership expert of 20 years. Ryan Cummingdeer, a local Bendite as well, 15-plus years of technology expertise. And myself, yes, a recovering academic who spent 12 years researching human behavior in a global context. So what is the market we're going after? This market is a $6 billion market from a TAM perspective, but we're really honed in today on the beachhead, which is a $288 million market, focused on 3 million knowledge workers, high tech, pharma, bio, and companies 1,000 or more. And our go-to-market strategy is through our partnership channels, where we charge on average $96 per year per user, or an average contract of $250,000 annual, which I think I just said in the first part of that sentence, right? And so today already, our largest partner, IECL, has pre-purchased 200 licenses, so we're revenue generating. Now, when we talk about competition, we look at 2 things: access to technology and objectively measuring soft skills in the flow of work. And to date, as far as I know, there's few or none that do this in the flow of work. So what is our exit strategy? Well, our exit strategy is clear for us. It's tethered to our go-to-market strategy. Our product expands the wallet and increases product offering for our partners, which means there's an exit in 2027 on the books. We predict to go break even in late 2024, as well as turn revenues of $28 million in 2025. I want to say thank you, and we're also raising $800,000 in a convertible note, 10% discount, and $6 million cap. I cannot say that. Sorry, cannot say that. I did not say that. No one heard me say that. I did not say that.
Okay, Dr. Kelly. Thank you.
Thank you, James.
So, a fun fact about me is I moonlight as a substitute teacher in the Ben Lapine School District. And we have to do this online training every year, and it makes me want to stab my eyeballs out. So tell me about what you're doing and why it works, why it's better than what I sit through for an hour and a half every year.
So I think the short answer of this is when you think about the psychology of human beings, it's the immediacy, it's the relevancy, meaning context, and it's the accountability. And so because our solution knows which meetings to nudge you, what behaviors, in the context that you're trying to show up in, and allows those around you to give you anonymous aggregate feedback, it allows you to know how you're showing up in the flow versus afterwards, annually, once a year, which doesn't work, doesn't stick, and you often always forget.
I like how you're making this subjective, objective. A couple things come to mind, though. One is you're taking anonymous feedback. There can be bias in that feedback, and if it's anonymous, you won't be able to tease that out. How does your system handle bias?
So let's say, for example, someone's working on strategic thinking, or succinct and direct is one of their soft skill areas. When you think about data science, and I spent 12 years in higher ed doing that from a research perspective, when you collect these data points over multiple times a week, over multiple weeks, you can actually tease out the data at aggregate data from a data science perspective at the aggregate level over time. Meaning, excuse me, different meetings, different people, different sizes. That bias can be removed in a number of different mathematical ways over time.
And James, what does it look like in real time? Like I'm at my computer, I get a little,
Sure.
What does that look like?
Yeah, so I'll give you a great example. Go back to the notion of being strategic. One of our areas is strategic thinking. So when you onboard, the first thing we do is we look back 2 months. We say, who are the people you meet with most often? We recommend those people, you choose. And then the system really kicks into play. And so the next time you're going to a meeting that says something like Strategic Planning 2023, Our solution will send you a nudge 3 minutes before. It might say something to the effect of, in this meeting, connect today to the future. So that's before in the meeting inside Microsoft Teams in one of those chat channels. After the meeting, it says, hey, did you do that behavior on a scale of 1 to 5? At the same time, those in the meeting that you've invited are asked, did you see this behavior? So that objective other perspective over time provides and creates an objective measure of soft skills.
It's so cool, James. I feel like this would really do a number on online dating platforms. But that is just another opportunity for another night. Great pitch. Thank you for being here. Excited to see what happens next. I can't be the only one who was thinking that. All right, we would like to extend a thank you to all of our Edco members. Private membership currently represents about 33% of Edco funding. Our work simply would not happen without your support and participation. If you're not a member, we would like to strongly consider joining our movement today. Edco membership underwrites a variety of support and resources, including Edco's work to help build a prosperous and sustainable economy. 50 plus events like PubTalk, all geared towards engaging our business community, supporting local community directors in 5 communities, supporting the Venture Catalyst and the Stable of Experts program for entrepreneurs. Some new members that Kelly has been working with lately: the Boys and Girls Club of Bend, Go Now LLC, David Keat with Bend Relo at Weston Main Homes and Clarity LLC, RCP Foods LLC, Fortis Construction, Rising Tide Entertainment, Northwest Crossing Partners LLC, and Tetherow Resort. Great work, Kelly. I don't know where you are, but really great work. If you want to hear your business name shouted out at PubTalk and learn more about Edco membership, visit their Director of Membership Development, Kelly Michael, for additional information and join. Special thanks to Steve and the team here at Silver Moon for our PubTalk takeover, and to Chicken Strap for providing the food base for all that beer that you're soaking up. Atlas Law Group next door and Francis, Hansen, and Martin around the corner were gracious enough to let us park extra attendees tonight. Thank you both. I took advantage of that, really appreciate it. As you can see, it takes a village to make these things happen. So thank you all, and now we'll get back to business. Sponsor Bbsi is a proud, longtime supporter of PubTalk, and we appreciate working with Edco to support this incredible event. Bbsi Central Oregon has a full team of seasoned professionals offering tactical and strategic payroll, HR and recruiting, risk and safety, and business consulting services that help business owners stay focused on growing and developing their businesses. We've been here for over 20 years and are ready to help you when you need us. Good luck to all the entrepreneurs who are pitching this evening. Our 6th early stage company is from right here in Bend, Oregon, Osheru, a device that simplifies upper eyelid surgery to make this vision and appearance enhancing procedure available to anyone. Welcome, Osheru.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Dr. Patricia Bueller from Bend here. I've been a surgeon here for 30 years, an eye surgeon. And during that time, I've done thousands of blepharoplasties. What's that? It's a surgery that removes unwanted upper eyelid skin, which improves patients' peripheral vision by up to 25%, as well as making them look younger and more revitalized. There's 350,000 of these procedures done in the US each year and 1.6 million worldwide. The problem with traditional blepharoplasty is it can take up to an hour to perform at a cost to the patient of $4,000 on average. There's bleeding requiring cautery and wound closure requiring suturing, and the patient can have disfiguring bruising for up to 2 weeks post-operatively. Despite these problems, there's been little innovation in this area for decades. My innovation insight came when I was at an ancient Egyptian medicine exhibit. The Egyptians removed that fold of extra skin by compressing it between 2 small twigs, and that devitalized tissue without a blood supply would fall off within 3 to 5 days. Similarly, there's devices on the market for skin tag removal and circumcision to remove unwanted skin without surgery. Based on this idea, I designed and patented the Eyelid Lift device. With the Eyelid Lift device, we reduce bruising and bleeding and eliminate cautery and suturing. A procedure that takes 60 minutes to do, we can now accomplish in less than 10 minutes. Here's how we get such great results. The Eyelid Lift device fits the contour of the orbit perfectly so that we get symmetric and accurate removal of skin from both upper eyelids. There's a jaws that compress as well as a cutting mechanism that removes the extra tissue so that tissue glue can then be applied. In 2021, I formed a company called Osheru to market and commercialize the Eyelid Lift device. We have a very experienced executive team that has medical device experience in bringing devices to market. We have a patented prototype. We've done proof of concept in an animal skin model, and we've done 3 cadaver labs comparing our eyelid lift device to traditional blepharoplasty. And we've demonstrated that our device is superior in shorter surgical times and better symmetry. Next, we plan to launch our FDA Class 1 product in second quarter of next year. And over the next 5 years, we hope to get 5% of the market for blepharoplasty, which is a $5.2 billion market right now on an annual basis. And our disruptive technology will help bring this vision and appearance enhancing procedure available to many more individuals. I hope you'll vote for Osheru's eyelid lift device.
Patricia,
Thank you.
this is amazing. Truly amazing. I think Jen has a question for you.
I mean, other than like, where do I get one? It's
Where can we
fantastic.
sign up?
So, Dr. Bueller, I know that blepharoplasty is not just a cosmetic procedure. It's also done for a number of medical reasons, ocular pressure, their thyroid patients. I mean, is there anything does this have to be a cosmetic procedure, or is the goal to sort of improve eye surgery on a holistic level? Or what do you see as the go-to-market?
Yeah, so there's 350,000 blepharoplasties done in the United States each year, and 1/3 of those are considered functional and paid for by insurance companies. So 2/3 are considered cosmetic and paid for out of pocket by patients. But this device will be available for all of those procedures.
And is it just upper eyelid or lower eyelid? Like, I know that's a separate, different type of procedure, but do you see an opportunity to address that issue as well with under eye bags?
Well, our current eyelid lift device is really for the upper eyelids, but we have lots of plans for potentially using it on the lower eyelid, the cheek, the jowl, the forehead. So I think there's lots of opportunities for the innovative technology to be used in other areas.
It's just very, very cool. Okay, questions from the audience. Okay, and
I've got one.
Go ahead, Steve.
It's over there, take it.
Yeah, you go ahead.
The mechanism is quite ingenious. Does it have to come in multiple sizes to accommodate various people?
Actually, so we've done cadaver studies with our device, and we started with what was in the literature from anatomy from people. And so the device is actually measured and works on most everyone. We've got in our cadaver studies about 95% of people, of the cadavers, and these were all actually mostly white cadavers and elderly, but it fit on almost everyone. There will be individuals that, due to their anatomy, it won't fit, but you don't need various sizes to accomplish what you need to accomplish.
Can I ask one more?
Please, go ahead.
Is this technique being used on any other kind of surgery? Or is this so I guess my question is this a de novo 5 application, or is it a 510K because someone else is also slicing and surgical gluing skin?
No. So currently blepharoplasty is done with a blade and scissors and cautery and regular old sutures. So no one is doing the surgery this way for blepharoplasty. A few people have tried using tissue glue, but it hasn't been successful because it doesn't have our patented jaws that keep the tissue together in order for the glue to work.
This is amazing, Patricia. I am so excited to see what happens next. Thank you. Beautiful pitch.
Well, up.
Thank you. Thank you, sponsor Ben Broadband, who is proud to be a continued sponsor of PubTalk and privileged to support the communities in which we serve. We know that economic growth is crucial to the well-being of Central Oregon, and we are committed to supporting initiatives and organizations such as Edco to do this important work. Like many businesses, we are experiencing many unfilled positions within our company and have many exciting positions open. Please go to benbroadband.com/careers to see a list of available positions. You need a job, Steve? Ben Broadband probably has one for you. All right, our 7th early stage company, Glassbuilding, right here in Bend, Oregon, a document agnostic AI platform that democratizes negotiation of a commercial lease while promoting industry transparency, authenticity, and trust. Welcome, Glassbuilding.
Simplicity is sometimes good.
First of all, thank you all for being here. My name is Craig Reinhardt. I live in Bend, and I am the founder and lead investor in Glassbuilding. I've been negotiating leases globally on behalf of technology companies, from startups to established companies, for over 30 years. And our first product at Glassbuilding is called Lease Ai, and it's a SaaS solution that enables brokers to negotiate lease documents for their customers faster and at a lower cost than ever before. Every day, thousands of businesses around the world start lease negotiations to secure that financial future of their business. And they expect it to be straightforward, and it often isn't. They may have spent months evaluating buildings, the market, negotiating business terms, getting their teams excited about a great building, only being told to hold off on signing until the lease is actually ready. Attorneys, brokers, it's an exhaustive process. What if you could sign a fair lease the same day you pick a building? What if you and your landlord could put that lease away? Just go out and ride mountain bikes, never have a reason to talk except show up for something fun like a PubTalk. Here we are today. For the past 5 years, I've been thinking about this problem and brainstorming with my technology clients how AI can actually help reduce the time, reduce the friction, and create an environment where you could actually sign a lease again the same day that you select a building. For a broker around the world, it's like Groundhog Day. Every single lease, well-intended or not, starts with a landlord generating a contract, handing it over to you. It's a one-sided contract. And for you as tenants, the stakes are high, and for us as service providers, the stakes are high as well. It's really important that we get this right, and there's tremendous inefficiency with no end in sight until now. While Lease Ai was conceived as a tool for brokers, the technology has broad implications in reviewing all contracts. We believe it can disrupt this archaic back and forth negotiation and quiet those voices at the table that say, I've never given those terms before, when you know it's not the case. We're laser focused on the broker and supporting the broker save time and deliver unique value for their clients. The market for Lease Ai is large, and broker interviews tell us that Lease Ai is needed now more than ever. Fortunately, brokers are used to paying for such services and subscriptions for data and valuable tools, and there's a line of sight to approximately $110 million in revenue just from brokers and from tenant subscriptions in the US, Canada, and UK alone. Attorneys, landlords, businesses in rural areas, and the rest of the world are additional opportunities. We're going to pursue enterprise sales to major brokerage firms and product-led growth to smaller firms before building out a suite for landlords. This is technically challenging, though we funded and developed a proof of concept version with Lease Ai that works. Our team is experienced, we're lean, and we're distributed between Oregon and Poland. I'm focused on bringing a proven tech startup leader on to join me as soon as possible, and we're raising a seed round of investment to commercialize Lease Ai as a first mover and to make the headquarters here in Bend, and we need your help. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Craig.
Thanks, Craig.
So how many of you in the room truly know what triple net means? I don't know, maybe like 4 of you. I mean, this is what you're for, right? Like, as a commercial realtor is supposed to do this. And so what's the vision? Are you going to like replace commercial realtors with a piece of software? Or is this a piece of software for commercial realtors to make them do their job better?
Yeah, it's to give brokers do a fabulous job. For years, I've been looking for a way to take what's in my brain and actually deliver that to a much broader audience, including as a training tool for younger brokers. Attorneys, exact same thing. The attorneys that we have on board love this idea. They view that it's potentially going to reduce hours, but it's going to make them far more strategic. So it won't replace anyone.
I love to hear that. We aren't replacing anyone. Any questions from the audience? Okay, Steve, looks like you've got one.
Audience always trumps me. You know, you guys get your questions in there. You can shut me up. Question for you. You know, we're all investors in this room, and what is the exit strategy for a company like this?
Well, at this juncture, you just can't make promises, as you well know. So I'm not going to signal that we're going to have a certain percentage of the market. However, CoStar, JLL, the company I'm with today, all the major brokerage firms see this as a really unique opportunity. There's a tremendous amount of risk for the landlord who thinks they've just had a tenant. We've got attorneys and brokers, you know, trying to drive towards a deal, but it could take weeks, if not months. And then the existing landlord turns around and comes back up and says, I'm going to give you special concessions for you to stay. Tremendous amount of risk. So the discussions we're having with the brokerage firms right now and the landlords all see this as risk mitigation as well as training. So if we can shorten that window from the point that a tenant says, I want to be in that building, you go now solve the lease. We want to take that down to like near zero time.
So if this software can automatically generate leases, how does it do that? Like, why? I mean, how do I know that what your software is creating is a fair lease and a perfect lease that everyone's going to get on board with?
So a little bit of background on what we attempted to do is I wanted to find every place in any lease document. So completely agnostic, don't care what document it is. I want to serve best practices anywhere in the lease. When you want to read a sublease clause, the best practices from the best real estate attorneys on both landlord and tenant side is served immediately. And that works. That works 99%. What doesn't work 99% right now, because we only had a data set of 15 leases, was to flag bad language. And if you're in the business and you understand this problem, every single lease, whether it's 16 pages or 86, has the exact same level of clauses from sublease, insurance, et cetera. So 1, we get to serve language properly in the correct spot. 2, we've been flagging bad language, and bad language is much easier to find than good language. We have not taken it to the point yet where we're suggesting and actually creating that smart dialogue that takes you from the landlord's lease to something you can sign, but that's where we're headed.
This is very cool, Craig. Thank you so much. I'm really excited to see what happens next. I feel like this is going to catch on with some people who are going to be able to make this thing happen. So, well done.
On both sides of the world, landlords, tenants.
Yeah, it's very
for you.
cool.
You can go have beers quickly.
This is for everybody. Thanks, Craig. My friends, I have 8 seats open here. If anyone from the back is getting, there we are. Yeah, I've got 8. Okay, I have 6 seats open. Actually, I have 4 seats. They're going fast. I have a couple seats open. Come on up here. I want to see the whites of your eyes. Sponsor COAR, the Central Oregon Association of Realtors, will recognize the 2022 winners of the Building a Better Central Oregon Awards on October 19th from 4 to 6 p.m. at the River House on the Deschutes. The BBCO Awards recognize those who have enhanced our community with outstanding new or renovated residential, commercial, or industrial buildings. Tickets are available at coar.com. That sounds exciting, actually. It sounds really fun. It sounds not beige, which is cool, I think. The 8th early stage company, GOCrew Health, Portland, Oregon based. They are a white-labeled, HIPAA-compliant communications platform that allows healthcare providers and patients to communicate easily and effectively. Thank you for joining us virtually, GOCrew Health.
Hey there. Can you all hear me?
Go for it, David.
Hey, humbled and honored to be here. I'm Dr. David Spiro. I'm the CEO and founder of GOCrew. I'm a children's ER doctor. And healthcare is complicated, and communication is the essence of healthcare. And what GOCrew does is it just makes it simple. Last week, we were in a meeting with about 15 public health nurses representing 20 counties in California. And one of the foster care nurses said that a child actually passed away because she actually couldn't access the family. You know, we're talking with public health entities that don't use any HIPAA-compliant methods or actually don't have access to patients, public health nurses, peer counselors, and there's so many areas where it's just not working well. And those public health nurses told us something that was incredibly, we were honored to hear, is that GOCrew is a need to have and not a nice to have in healthcare. So what are we? We're HIPAA compliant, we're white labeled, sets up in a few minutes for both patient and provider. We do in-app texting, telehealth that also transcribes. We actually send video files, both synchronously and asynchronously, to help with the education of the patients. And most importantly, we're provider mobile. So providers, healthcare nurses, even physicians are not practicing in the office as much anymore, and so they can practice wherever they need to. We're living in a mobile environment, and most importantly, we have an incredibly beautiful and simple native app, iPhone and Android user interface. We are not a narrow telehealth solution. One of our competitors that does half of what we do just got acquired for $200 million, Clara, K-L-A-R-A, Clara. So where are we today? We have a live product with live apps in the iPhone and Android store. We launched a few months ago. We have some paying customers. Some of our customers are athletic trainers, peer counselors, and clinics, and we have deal discussions with a number of larger entities. We're really, really bullish on public health entities. We have an experienced team. We have an active board. We're planning a price round at some point in the very near future once we get a few these larger deals done that are in the pipeline. And I just want you to remember the name GOCrew. We're just going to modernize healthcare by making it simple. Healthcare is complicated. Communication is the essence of healthcare, and we're just making it simple.
I love the sound.
I'm humbled and honored to be here. Thank you.
I love the sound of that. Thank you for being here. Jen, I
Thank
think you're
you.
ready.
Dr. Spiro. So for those of you who haven't met him, Dr. Spiro is a pediatric ER doc. He literally saves babies as a job, and has elected to go into healthcare software in order to do that better. So I guess my question is, aren't there tools that already allow physicians and advice nurses to contact patients through the phone or using the horrible MyChart system that all of us are so familiar with? Why do we need something else, and how does this make it faster and better?
I had an appointment with my doctor through MyChart and Epic, and it took me 30 steps using portals, emails, and phone calls to get in front of my own doctor. Everyone's complaining about it in all sorts of different ways. And where we're going to start, one of the other users said this, where our beachhead is in the public health space, where they're literally just using their cell phone to communicate in a non-HIPAA compliant way, or not communicate with their patients. And so Jen, yes, there are telehealth solutions. Many providers use Zoom, which is frankly it's a point solution, but it's not so mobile, and it's not integrated, and it doesn't do a number of the amazing things that our app does, which is super simple and native to the iPhone and the Android.
Steve, do we have a question from the audience? Or I'm going to Steve, guys. I'm going to Steve. Hit it, Steve.
Steve's always got a question. Can you talk a little bit about how your capabilities have to integrate with existing legacy systems associated with these practices?
Well, most of the entities that we've already that are paying customers are not seeing a massive need for it. For some of our larger entities, we're API driven, so we have the ability to easily integrate with existing electronic health record systems as long as they're API driven. Super simple.
That's amazing. Any other questions from the audience? Okay. Jen, you have one?
Yeah,
okay.
I'll take one more. So the GOCrew system allows public health nurses and physicians to communicate with patients. So tell us more about what that actually means. Can I text them? Can I video call them? Can I email them? How does this help a public health professional stay in better contact with a patient?
Yeah, so again, it's in-app texting, there's notifications, there's video chat, and most importantly, I just mentioned it briefly, Jen, we are really bullish on the use of synchronous and asynchronous video. So at the end of a telehealth session, you press a button and you're recorded, and that video is sent right to the family. So there's no doubt about what that provider is saying at the end of the call. It's recorded, let alone each entity has its own drive that they can send asynchronous video recordings. We are super bullish on the use of video, which is not used in healthcare. And it's one of the most differentiating aspects of what GOCrew provides.
Wow. Steve, it looks like you have another question.
Yeah, I just got to follow up on that.
Oh, and Deanne has one too. Is there
a
translation?
There is translation, and most importantly, there's transcription. So every single telehealth session is transcribed, and that would be a very, very good use case at a large-scale entity to have an API-driven EMR connection to be able to ease the use for the providers to have that transcription available. So it's fully documented.
Wow.
Many of the public health nurses we spoke to said they can't document a lot of things, and this is an incredibly simple tool to allow them to document the time that they're using to communicate with their patients.
This is incredible. It seems like you've really thought of everything. So I'm wishing you the best of luck. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Please keep us
Honored to be
posted.
here.
Yeah, thanks for being here. Our 9th early stage company, Tape Deck, out of Tigard, Oregon, a mobile app that connects people online through conversation. Tape Deck, come on up to the stage.
By raise of hands, who knows somebody that's used a dating app before? Okay. And keep them raised if you've ever heard them complain about them. Right? So my first experience with dating apps came when I was living in Europe. I was 23, single, and I moved halfway around the world. So I jumped on these apps with the honest intent to meet people. I spent months. I picked out my best photos, started playing the game, swipe right, swipe left. I'm sure you've seen or heard. And I just got exhausted. Months go by, and I still haven't gone on a single date. And I said, you know what? There deserves to be a better tool. So I set out to solve my own problem, and I founded Tape Deck. Tape Deck is an audio social app that connects people through conversation. So how does it work? It's a completely different experience. Every day we release a new prompt. And to participate in the prompt, you record an audio message. So for example, what's your favorite food in town? The response for me might be, I grew up in Bend, Oregon, and I love going to the Silver Moon. They got great beers on tap. If you're interested, you don't swipe right on a picture. You get to hear what they have to say, and you tap a button, and you send them a message back. They get to hear you speak. So put simply, you just start talking. So we actually built this product, and we launched it at Oregon State in a closed beta last spring. We did a 6-week test, only available to the students. Said, what the heck, let's see how it goes. And the data was very strong. I'm sure you've heard of Hinge. In that period of time, we almost matched them in users on campus. Produced several meaningful matches. I had a lot of wonderful interviews with people who actually went on dates on the platform. So where are we at now? Since then, we've iterated on the product, worked out some bugs, and actually tomorrow I launch back at Oregon State, and this fall we're doing a 5-university campus launch before the end of the year. Where are we at? We are, I don't know, how do we make money in this space? I think that's an important question. Through subscriptions. We will have, the app will be free to download, and then you can buy a $10 a month paid subscription, and that will give you additional filters. Love is blind mode. Pictures start blurry, you have to listen first. Additional search filters, so you can have a more tailored approach on the platform. You can be shown first, priority viewing, and additional things of that nature. It will start out around $10 a month, and this plan will be available this winter. And it's a very proven business model. Tinder has monetized this. They generate more revenue than most apps in the App Store today. They're in the top 5. We are raising $300,000 in a convertible note round. We've already secured $70,000. Oh, we're not allowed to talk about it. Okay, I'm sorry. I have some commitments already, to say the least. Sorry, I didn't get that signal. We're excited to take this to the next level. As I mentioned, Oregon State starts tomorrow. And believe it or not, half of relationships today start online. So if you put me through, I'll prove to you with data in the next month before the conference just how powerful this tool can be. Thank you.
This is so cool.
Okay, Blake, because I am 1,000 years old and married to someone from high school, and before that, to see more about this business, like what are we talking about in terms of revenue numbers? And how much does it cost for you to attract someone new to the app, right? Because you can't, you don't have users unless people download the app.
That's a great question. Tinder, case example, they generated $2 billion in revenue last year.
You said billion with a B.
Billion with a B.
In 1 year.
In 1 year. Yep.
And everybody hates it. And everybody hates it.
And everybody hates it, right? You can solve that. I mean, it works for some people. It works for some people. But there's plenty of people that complain about it.
Plenty of people that complain about it, yeah.
Yes, so your second question, acquisition cost. I actually had a wonderful conversation with the VP of Engineering of Instagram 2 weeks ago, and she was telling me that their acquisition cost in LA was like $70 per user, and I just thought that was absurd. I thought that was absurd because from our test at Corvallis, we had like 20 different tactics to acquire users. Partner with clubs on campus, put a table up, pass out flyers. We had a lot of different learnings from that time there, and we generated 10 tactics in that period of time that can acquire a user for under $5. So just for comparison's sake, that's kind of the ballpark we're working with for the next 3 months. Yeah.
How did you come up with the name?
Tape deck. I'm sure there's some of you in this room that know what a tape deck is. It's a machine you use to record and play back audio. You put a cassette tape in there, right? So, and that's exactly what you do on the app. You record an audio message, and you get to play it back.
It's so interesting because it seems like the rise of audio messages, like it is here. So I love this. And did I see a hand over here? Yes. What's defensible about this? What keeps Tinder from?
That's a great question.
Audio. Gotcha.
That's a great question. So I got two things in response to that. One, you don't necessarily have to beat the competition. The average user has 4 dating apps installed at one time. So you just have to be competitive. And second, you ask most people that are familiar with what Tinder is, and they will say it's a hookup app. So even if you integrate audio, it's going to be a hookup app with audio. We're trying to be something more authentic to that. And I think that resonates with a lot of people.
Yes. Do women feel safe on your app, and do you have data on that?
I think they do. From the interviews I had in Corvallis, they said getting to hear someone speak before I have to go up in person and meet them for the first time is a much stronger signal than just a picture on these other platforms. So I think that goes a long way in terms of providing safety, and over time we will build in additional mechanisms to do more than that as well.
Okay, I think that's our time. Thank you so
thank
much.
You very much.
This is awesome. I've always thought that these things just sort of catch fire, so I'm excited to see how that one does. All right, special thanks to Matt Hand and his tech team with Hand in Hand Productions for tonight's event streaming into other rooms and virtually for those that couldn't join us in person. Want to say hello to my friend Kim, who's watching at home. Votes taken. Should we vote? Let's vote. Thank you again to Portland Seed Fund for the valuable $30,000 minimum investment into Bbsi's early stage competition. Take out your phone, okay? This is how this works. Take out your phone, go to edcoinfo.com/vote. edcoinfo.com/vote. You can also scan the QR code. Yes? Just go here. Oh, on the bottom. surveymonkey.com/r/bendvc. The actual link, if you don't have the QR code, is surveymonkey.com/r/bendvc, Venture Conference. Okay, so you must select 3 companies. Voting will remain open for 2 minutes. Ready, set, vote. If you need assistance, please raise your hand. And I want to say thank you, Washington Trust Bank, for the $3,000 in cold hard cash needed to make the audience vote award possible. This is an exciting little chunk of money that goes home with our winner tonight. So now, while the votes are coming in, I'd like to say a few words about the upcoming Bend Venture Conference. It's just a few weeks away. It's 4 short weeks, exactly. Okay, so Team Edco, you got this, right? Just stay hydrated. It's in its 19th year. That's wild. Nearly $11 million deployed into 45 companies over the last 5 years. That's wild. $11 million over 5 years into 45 companies. Has had multiple exits for its investors. Bbsi has had at least 9 exits so far. Those exits have seen returns across the portfolio. 2 Bbsi briefs will take the stage during the conference. You're used to seeing these. They're very, very interesting. More than 1 company from each track can be invested in. That's the most fun. And there are discounted tickets to Bbsi for Edco members. So join now, you'll save $80 a ticket. That's actually a really great investment. So upcoming events not to miss. Obviously, don't forget to mark your calendars for Bbsi. It's October 20th and 21st in downtown Bend. And you want to be in the Tower Theater audience, my friends. Make it happen. To learn more about that, I welcome Jen Lynch. Jen, where are you? Bbsi Fund Manager, to take it away. Tell us more.
Okay, so I'm your interstitial entertainment while you're voting.
I'm into it.
I'm going to block the screen. You have to listen to me. So those of you who had fun doing this might be interested to know how the companies that present on the big stage during the Bend Venture Conference get the giant check at the end. And the answer is local people. People like the folks in this room band together every fall and interview literally dozens of companies in the search for the 5 companies that present to you on the Bend Venture Conference stage and the eventual holders of those big checks. This is called angel investing. For those of you who aren't familiar with it, it's a little like Shark Tank. We are human beings with professional experience and the resources to invest in new companies. We get together every single fall, and we do this as a group. We're looking for outstanding companies in Central Oregon, on the West Coast, and we're looking to make investments that are meaningful in their business with the hopes of return for ourselves and return for this community in the form of new businesses that hire attorneys and lease office spaces and throw events that we can all be a part of. So if you're interested in learning more about how the companies at the Bend Venture Conference end up with these giant plastic checks, come find me and I can talk to you more about that process. You can visit our website, which is bendvcfund.com.
Thanks, Jen. Yeah. The Bend, you all have such a great reputation in Bend, and
we do. We're kind.
You're very kind.
We are kind.
Yeah.
I feel like on Shark Tank, they're kind of jerks sometimes, right?
No jerks. No jerks in
and
Bend.
we're not jerks.
It's awesome. Thanks,
Be
Jen.
nice, right?
Really glad you're here. Yeah. So what else? We've got Bend Outdoor Works breakout event. That is going to be Saturday, October 22nd, following Bbsi. So this is where you can check out some of the top startup companies in the outdoor industry. It's a super energized, really fun event. Check that out, October 22nd. Ready, RADI's News and Brews is on October 26th in Redmond. PubTalk is back here again on November 17th. So in lieu of October PubTalk, we have Bend Venture Conference, but we will be back on November 17th, a week early than normal because of Thanksgiving. In other news, PubTalk is adding an after-party sponsorship to each of our events to keep the connecting going after the program ends. To learn more about what the PubTalk after-party sponsorship includes, like email exposure and stage time, track down Aaron Riley at Edco. So unlike PubTalk's annual sponsors, these are one-off opportunities to spread the love, so it'll be a rotating array of people supporting those events. Aaron, how are we doing? Are we close? Are we ready to announce? Do you need me to do a little bit of tap dancing? All right, so let's go back to the very beginning of the evening when I was asking, how was your summer? Did anybody do anything fantastic this summer you want to tell me about? What did you do this summer? Yeah. Oh my gosh, you launched an alcohol company. And so what kind of alcohol is it? uncarbonated, spiked tea lemonade, like an Arnold Palmer. And it's called Palmies. That's amazing. I love that, and the can is adorable. Who did your label? And you sell it here. So if you're feeling like you want a spiked hard lemonade or a hard Arnold Palmer, that sounds naughty. It's a little bit naughty. Okay, I like it. I'm into it. Check out Palmies. It's available at the bar, and I'm getting thumbs up from the bartenders, which is a really amazing endorsement, actually. Okay, so we're going to have to see you up here at some point. I got a microphone for you. You can put it in the palmy of your hand, huh? You set me up. What about anybody else launch any new businesses? Anybody get a puppy? You know I always want to talk about dogs. I just can't say. You went to Yellowstone. Was it your first time? How was it? Oh, you took your kids. That's awesome. How long did you go for? 4 days. And did that feel like the right amount of time? Yeah. And that's a lot of snacks to pack. You've got 3. How old are your kids? Wow. 9, 7, and 4. And were they just like amazed? What was your favorite part? Yeah. Yeah. Bless you. That's so cool. Bless you. I felt that way when I went to Alaska. I don't have kids, but I was like, everyone who has kids should bring them here. This is amazing. You have to see it. How was dinner? Was dinner good? Yeah. You know what? You came up here. It smelled so delicious. My stomach started rumbling. But no, don't be sorry. It's wonderful. I'm like, I'm obviously having chicken for dinner. No, I'm okay. I'll get it. Thank you. Okay, who is attending Ben Venture Conference this year? Who will be there? Okay, we have one person going. That is going to be a really good time. Who is going to Ben Venture Conference? I'll be there. I will see you there. You're going. Michelle is going. Are you going to be inside the tower? That's the way to go. You guys have to be there. It's so much fun. You learn so much so quickly. Okay, how are we doing on voting, Matt? Matt, how are we doing on voting? Matt, hand, looking for Aaron. Okay. Did you all vote? Did anybody have any issues voting? I think the voting is officially closed. Who do we think it's going to be? Hard to say. They were all amazing. Really, I know. I love this evening because you learn so much. You realize like there's really so much more going on. People are like using their brains. It's wonderful to see people using their brains, isn't it? Using their brains and coming up with things that are marketable and problem solving, and it's really exciting. Okay, 2 minutes? 2 minutes? I have 2 minutes. All right. What are we most excited for in the fall? It just became fall. It's been fall for approximately 3 hours. You're looking forward to increased sales of the hard Arnold Palmer. It's actually challenging to say. Hi. What are you drinking? A mocktail. Oh, a Moscow Mule. Okay, I thought you said it was a mocktail that turned into a cocktail, and I was like, I don't know what you're on about, man, but that's complicated. Okay, a Moscow Mule. You cannot go wrong. The ginger and the lime, so good for your digestion. Spicy but sweet. Have you tried the Palmies? Delicious? You had 2. You had 2, and it made you feel so good. Then you got a Moscow Mule. I hope that you have a ride home. And I hope you've already done all your chores, because you're not getting anything else done tonight. You're making new friends, but you're not doing laundry. You can fold. Okay, well, that, you know what? That's better than I can do. None of my laundry is folded. Okay, Matt, how are we? Are we close? Are we close? 2 minutes ago, yes, we were close. Matt, have you tried the hard Arnold Palmer? It's all the rage. Yeah. I have not, but both bartenders gave it a thumbs up, and that was the only action I saw from them all night. So I feel like it's a big endorsement. Just do it. Okay, now this person is buying Matt. I would say this has been a complete success. You can send me my 10-cent commission check tomorrow. Thank you. Yeah, that was fun. I believe. I I went to Italy this summer. That was fun. It's also a lot of driving, actually. I rented a car in Florence, and at one point I thought maybe I died and that was purgatory because I just could not, I could not get anywhere, really. I just kept going around in circles. It's funny, in Italy, there's like no signs, and then there's one pole with 40 signs. I don't know how that's supposed to work. It didn't work for me. It wasn't unpleasant. It was just, am I ever going to get there? And then magically, you just get there. I don't know how that works, but it does. And if I never had to drive a rental Fiat in Italy again, I'll be happy. Do you know what I'm saying? That's, I kept thinking, like, what if I was a grouchy dad doing this? It'd be a totally different experience. Here I've got water, I'm happy, I'm sightseeing. What if I was a grouchy dad? Yeah. I cannot imagine driving in Paris. It's funny, I was like, I will rent this car, but I will not drive in Florence City Center. And a couple of wrong turns, and there I was. I was just like, oh, Santa Maria Novella, here I am. Are we up? It's happening? All right, my friends, everybody needs to pay attention. This is it, huh? In alphabetical order, top 5. And then Corey will announce the cash. Corey, you're almost up. You're almost up. Okay, my friends. I need your attention. I have the top 5 advancing companies. They are moving on to the Bend Venture conference stage, October 20th and 21st. Was that you, my friend? Moscow Mule, yeah. These are in alphabetical order. Congratulations, you're going to Bend Venture conference. Daily Cello. Instinct. Osheru. Range Revolution, you're going to Bbsi, my friend. And Tape Deck, let's get it on, Tape Deck. Listen, Tape Deck, I have hosted this is my 4th year hosting this event, and I have been dying for a dating app to show up, so thanks a lot. All right, Corey, get on up here. Tell us who's taking home the cash. Oh my God. Oh my God, Corey, please, don't hurt the photographer.
Sorry. Can't take me anywhere. Okay, so this is the audience vote for a really big check, because it's really big. I mean, the size of it is big. So the 2022 audience choice for $3,000 is Tape Deck.
That is awesome. And one day when you have like a whole bunch of people that got married, happily married, you'll be like, it all started at Silver Moon Brewing in Bend, Oregon. Well, yeah. Congratulations. That's awesome. Thank you so much, Washington Trust Bank. Thanks, Corey. Huge thanks to Washington Trust Bank. That's so fun. Congratulations, y'all. Congratulations. Not only do you get to move on the stage, but now you've got some money to keep things going, huh? Thank you to the audience for voting, and thank you, Corey. Now, finalists, you're going to need to come on up. The 5 of you that are going forward to Bend Venture Conference, we're going to take a photo of you. Thank you all for coming and for rooting on these early stage companies, for voting to send finalists forward to Bbsi, and for voting to send $3,000 home with Tape Deck. Good night, everyone. Get home safe, be healthy, take care of each other, take care of yourselves. We'll see you next month at Bend Venture Conference. I can't wait. Pull your puffy vest out of the closet and let it rip. Have a wonderful evening. Finalists, please make your way to the stage. Thank you so much. I'm Shannon Kelly. I'll see you next month.